everybody. Welcome to a new episode of Black Bear Voices presented by Bangor Savings Bank. First captain of Maine ice hockey was Drew Stearns in 1922. The current one is Jack Quinlivan. Jack, how are you? Where are you?
I'm good, Tyler. I was in Shrewsbury, Massachusetts, just hanging out at home for most of the summer. But this week I am in Sea Isle City, New Jersey, enjoying the beach, keep my distance, of course, but just here with some friends and family. So it's good to be at a different spot for a little bit and, soaking up the sun here.
Nice. So obviously the big news is you'll be wearing the C this year for Maine hockey. Talk to me about, I guess that's kind of a little bit of what we call insider baseball knowledge, where you don't know unless you go through it. What's that process like for a team selecting their captain, and how does that all happen?
It definitely starts a lot earlier before like you're elected. So say it honestly starts like throughout your whole career, just building yourself up as a trying to be the best teammate you can be and being there for all your teammates and just year in and year out, just putting your work in. And then when your time comes and your teammates like want you to be a leader of the team, they vouch for you, and which I really appreciate for my teammates vouching for me and voting for me as the captain. And we got a great group of people, special group of people. So I'm happy to be a part of them. And so this past spring we had votings for captain and they voted for me, and just it's a really good blessing, and just happy to be a part of such a great community with, all the hockey people, but also the people of Orono are awesome. Just playing in front of them and just the players and coaches, we have a good thing going. So I'm just really blessed to be a leader of this group.
Nice. That's so. I think that from what I understand, it's more like you build yourself up to be kind of a de facto leader, and then
Yeah, it's just like, I mean, you kind of get a feel for who's starting to step up in the room, like whose turn it is. And we had a lot of leaders last year, as Mitch Fossier, Tim Doherty, Ryan Smith, Patrick Shea, a bunch of the seniors that were really good leaders for the team. And then, it'll be new guys to step up this year. So if me, any other guys that'll step into another huge role, you'll start to see a lot of great leaders come about this year. So.
yeah, and it's sure to be a season we're all kind of looking forward to with the way things ended last year. What are your expectations for the team right now in July? How do you expect things to go? Losing a big piece in Swayman and guys like Fossier and Shea that you talked about, but what are your initial thoughts on the team as your first month as captain?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, each year you lose huge pieces. If you look at 2 years ago, we lost guys such as Chase Pearson, Brady Keeper, Rob Michael, guys that we thought were going to be really tough to replace, which they obviously were. Those aren't replaceable guys, but you can have new guys step up into the rotation and contribute their piece and step up into new roles. And I think that's what we had this past year with a lot of new freshman D. And then you had a bunch of guys stepping up and scoring. So I expect the same thing this year, new guys to step up into new roles. Obviously, there's going to be a different person in net, but all three of our goalies this year were fully confident in stepping up and contributing. So I'm excited to see all three of those guys. Then we have a lot of our defense core coming back, which is really exciting because that was completely different from last year. So I think we're going to have a really good team. Just getting to know all the freshmen and knowing the guys we have in the room. We have a really good chemistry going on, really good culture. So that's what we pride ourselves on, and we feed off of that. And I'm really excited for the year.
Nice. So obviously, kind of looking down the line here, fall sports have been kind of hit first. Everyone's kind of waiting on pins and needles to see what happens with the winter sports. Have you guys had conversations about how that's going to look, or how you're going to communicate with each other if you do have to be separate when camp opens up? I mean, what have those conversations been like?
Yeah, so we've had Zoom meetings with the team and the staff at the rink, the coaches, Paul Klein and Matt Murray, Shan Coyley. They've all done a great job like organizing how it's going to be like when it's going to get back. It's going to be a lot different. Going to have to break up the groups, different parts of locker rooms, masks in the rink. Not everyone's going to be able to work out at the same time, I think. So A lot of different type stuff going on there. So they're trying to get all that in order for when we come back, and they've been working really hard at that, which we really appreciate because we just want to play. So they're putting us in the best position to, not have the virus or stay safe up there. But all in all, we don't really fully know what's going to happen when we get back, but they're putting us in the best position to stay safe but also keep skating.
Right. Yeah. The naked five are going to look really weird 6 feet apart. But
Yeah.
we'll
Yeah, they're going to have to keep their distance running too, so they're going to have to be at the same pace.
All right, so let's get off the ice for a minute. I want to talk to you about something that I'm a big music guy, big fan of music,
Awesome.
especially older music. And I heard about Q-Tape.
Yes. Yeah. So you must have
thrown,
listened to the Pat Shea podcast.
Right. My research process is very, very refined. I just Google the name of whoever I'm interviewing and just look at what comes up.
Yeah.
So I watched that video with Pat Shea, the Behind the Cage, and you mentioned Q-Tape, and I went and looked it up. First song, Like a Rolling Stone, Bob Dylan, and I'm in.
Oh, it's great. Yeah.
So talk to me about that. I mean, where does that come from? We don't see a lot of people. I mean, I'm 25. I mean, you're a little younger than me, but you don't see a lot of people our age kind of.
Yeah. I mean, my dad listened to a lot of older music. He didn't listen to as much rock and roll as I do, but he was a huge Van Morrison guy. Listen to Elton John, a bunch of other artists, but like every time we go in the car, you like pop in a CD, and it would be the same CD for like 2 or 3 weeks, and then like change it out. So that's where I learned like a lot of older artists, and I think that's why like I started to like that music. I just never really got into the current day type music. It's just I don't really enjoy it. I kind of like more guitar, like vocals. So anything in the 70s to 90s or early 2000s I like. I've started to getting more into like 90s rock. So I've been listening to a lot of Nirvana, bands like them. Been getting into AC/DC. The Rolling Stones are probably my favorite band. I saw them in Gillette Stadium last summer, which was really cool. Yeah. So yeah, I just like for that tape, I've been like trying to look deep into artists. So I'll just scroll through all their albums and play some songs that I like. And then just like, if I like them, I'll just add them to the playlist. So I have a really wide variety on there, from like Billy Joel to like Nirvana. There's a lot of Queen on there. So it's really fun just listening to songs you haven't heard. Obviously you have the classic hits, but if you really dive deep into some albums, you can find some really good tunes.
Yeah, I think that's what's fun about kind of looking backwards is when you discover Van Morrison or AC/DC.
Yeah, he's another guy. Van Morrison's awesome. Yeah.
And the Man. Into the Mystic, great album. Great
song.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, let's I'm gonna turn the screws on you a little bit. Rolling Stones are up there. Who else is on your Mount Rushmore of Jack Quinlivan's music taste?
This is okay. So yeah, this is gonna be tough.
This is called gotcha journalism.
Yeah, so I'm gonna have to go into the playlist. Oh, Bruce Springsteen is up there. I love The Boss.
Sure.
The Rolling Stones. Wow, this is tough. I like Fleetwood Mac. Is really good. Yeah. I like Fleetwood Mac a lot. I'm just seeing like whose songs I have the most. Led Zeppelin.
Sure.
Yeah. So those are somewhere in the top, like Shot in the Dark top 4. I mean, you could push for Billy Joel. I saw him at Fenway Park. Those are like the only two. Oh, Pearl Jam. They'll probably push for the 4th. Yeah. All those bands. And I'm a big Queen guy as well. So, I mean, I can keep going. REO Speedwagon. As soon as I keep looking on it, it's just like they all pop up. So,
what's the best show you've been to? You seem to have been to a couple of times.
I've only been to Billy Joel and the Rolling Stones. Because like I couldn't really go in high school because I just didn't have the money.
Right.
So as soon as I started getting out of high school, I was gonna go. Like this summer, Pearl Jam was supposed to tour. I wanted to go see them. I was going to go see Aerosmith, I think. And then I heard Guns N' Roses is a good show too, so I wanted to go see them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, with all the summer, it's not going to happen now, but obviously, but I was really looking forward to go see a couple shows. But yeah, so those are the only two I've seen.
Well, that's great, man. I love getting to talk music on a Friday morning.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a tough round of questions for you. You know, really busted you a little bit.
No,
So
I enjoy it. I love talking music, especially with people that have like the same similar taste, because you
yeah,
don't really see that. But I'll play it in the locker room, and like the guys like know it's me
yeah,
if like I'm playing it, and they
yeah.
and they enjoy it from here to here.
Well, right on, man. I appreciate you taking a little time to just check in with us and catch up. I don't have any more questions for you today, but you know, hopefully we get back to normal and we get to see you in Orno a little bit. And but until then, you know, keep on keeping on, and we'll see you when we see you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Tyler. I appreciate it.
Right on, Jack. Thank you very much.